Namaskar friends, this is NJ, host on this channel, continuing our discussion on different ascendants in the D9 chart. In this video, we will try to understand the results of Capricorn ascendant in the D9 chart. So to begin with, if you want to understand the features of the D9 chart, so this chart is formed by making a ninth division of your zodiac sign from the main ascendant chart. So it is a highly spiritual chart which tells about your spiritual prospects, religious austerities, prospects of your luck and fortune, how much are you going to get benefited by following the righteous path in this lifetime. All of that information can be derived from this D9 chart. The second feature of the D9 chart is that this chart tells about your complete matrimonial life, how much contribution or support you are going to get from your partner in order to fulfill your purpose in this lifetime. And at the same time, this chart also validates the true strength of planets in your main ascendant chart. So let's say, for example, if some planet is weak placed in your main ascendant chart, so that doesn't mean that this planet has lost all of its strength in its time period. You're not going to get good results, because if the same planet is well placed in the D9 chart, so you can fairly conclude that in the time period of that planet you can get good results, you can expect good results, because the root of this planet is strong. Now friends, if you want to understand the signification or importance of the ascendant, so ascendant just lays the foundation to the features of that chart. So I mean to say, if you want to encapsulate or summarize the theme of whatsoever area of life that divisional chart represents, just by looking at the first house you can fairly conclude. So for example, D9 chart, which primarily tells about your matrimonial life, so just by looking at the first house you can get to know that can the marriage or his matrimonial life of this person be summarized in one word as this marriage is filled with the flavors of love, travels, adventure, heated energy, resentment. So all of that can be done. And at the same time, see, the signification of the houses are fixed. For example, 5th house tells about romance in the marriage, 9th house tells about faith, morals in the marriage. But once you enter that house, what kind of energies you are going to find, what kind of energies you have to deal with, all of that you get to know by the presence of zodiac sign over there, and what is the criteria on the basis of which zodiac sign falls on different houses. It all comes down to which sign has come onto the first house. And at the same time guys, if you want to understand the distinctive qualities of the Capricorn sign, so it is a sign which is being ruled by the planet Saturn. So I mean to say, whenever we talk about the planet Saturn, the only thing which comes to our mind is being very hardworking, being very disciplined. So Saturn rules two signs, Capricorn and Aquarius. But when we talk about the disciplined side of Saturn, that manifests itself more with this Capricorn sign. Because when we talk about the Aquarius sign, Aquarius is all about being very philanthropic, being very humanitarian, scientific, having a utopian mindset. But the practicality manifests itself more with this Capricorn sign. And at the same time, just because it is a earth sign as well, so practicality and realistic approach becomes more strengthened here. And at the same time, it is a movable sign as well. Now guys, if you have to understand the correlation between the ascendant of your D9 chart and its connection with the main ascendant chart, so in only those scenarios and situation where your ascendant is either of a earth sign, which is of Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or it's of air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or it has to be of water sign, which is Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. So let's say, for example, if your ascendant belongs to one amongst all these signs and it is placed in certain degrees or pada of the nakshatra, then in only those situations only you can get Capricorn ascendant in the D9 chart. Guys, it's very important to understand, because you have to look at it in a way that following the righteous dharmic path in this lifetime, or which area of your life in the main ascendant chart is going to get impacted because of the contribution of your matrimonial life. So we will start taking up the case one by one. So let's say, for example, for all those people who have Taurus ascendant in their main ascendant chart. So guys, in your case, the energies of the Capricorn is falling in your 9th house. So I mean to say, the prospects of marriage or matrimonial life is definitely going to strengthen. The prospects of your luck and fortune. If you want to understand it for all the Virgo ascendant natives, so guys, in the case of the Virgo ascendant natives, the matrimonial life is straight away affecting or impacting your 5th house. So the prospects of devotion, risk taking abilities, or giving strength to your decision making, to your mental constitution is somehow getting impacted because of your matrimonial contribution. And let's say, for example, for all those people who have Capricorn ascendant in the main ascendant chart, so you have a Virgottam Lagan. So that means somehow, now whether it's about the manifestation or the craving of your soul or the theme of your matrimonial life, or your personality is very strengthened, has the capacity to achieve a lot in the life. And when we talk about discipline and capacity to do hard work, all of those areas or theme you can see as a correlation between your main ascendant chart and the D9 chart. Coming to the next category, guys, if you want to understand it for all the air element ascendant in the main D1 chart. So when we talk about the air element, it's all about intellectual qualities, very airy academic qualities, love for travel. So somehow from the back of the screen you are getting the energy and vibrations of a very practical, a very strengthened sign, which is Capricorn. So I mean to say, if you want to understand the correlation for a Gemini ascendant natives, so in your case, guys, just because the energy of Capricorn is falling in your 8th house, so you can fairly see the coordination that marriage has the capability to bring transformation and make you aware towards all the secret understanding or secret functioning of the universe. If you want to understand it for all the Libra ascendant natives, so guys, for the Libra ascendant native, this energy is falling, this energy of your D9 chart is falling in your 4th house. So I mean to say, when we talk about deriving happiness, contentment, so your marriage or matrimonial life is definitely going to impact you straight over there. And if you want to understand it for the Aquarius ascendant natives, so guys, just because whenever we talk about the Aquarius ascendant native, you have to understand this thing, that it's the same planet which is ruling their houses of losses, and the same planet is ruling their ascendant. So I mean to say, marriage is definitely going to pave a path in making them accept all the losses, or like for example the concerns of spirituality in a very graceful way. And last, guys, if you want to understand it for all the water ascendant natives, so in the case of the Cancer ascendant natives in the main ascendant or the D1 chart, so guys, your 7th house is actually coming into scrutiny, or energy is straight away impacting. The energy of your D9 chart is impacting your 7th house. So your matrimonial life is definitely going to play a very important role in giving you a very mature outlook towards handling the world, or your public image can also get strengthened because of it. Guys, if you want to understand it for all the Scorpio ascendant natives in the main D1 chart, so marriage can definitely pave a path, or religious austerities, truth and dharma can actually be your true source of strength in this lifetime. And last, guys, if you want to understand it for the Pisces ascendant natives, so in your case, marriage has the capacity, following the dharma has the capacity to fulfill all of your highest of the wishes in this lifetime. Okay friends, now we will start understanding what exactly is happening in different areas of your matrimonial life. See guys, what we are trying to do over here is that just only on the basis of the empty houses, we are trying to understand that what kind of energies you are going to find, how you have to deal with different areas of your matrimonial life. It's only on the basis of the placement of the planets we get to know what exactly is happening. So let's say, for example, for a Taurus ascendant native or for a Libra ascendant native, in the opposite house you are going to find the energies of the intense energy of the planet Mars. Now only on the basis of the placement of Mars we get to know that whether this intensity, this energy is going to be used to harm you or to protect you. For that you have to give attention to the placement of the planets. Right now all what we are trying to do is, on the basis of the empty houses, we are trying to understand in that area of life what kind of energies you are going to find in your matrimonial path. Okay friends, just because in the first house you're going to find the energies of the Capricorn sign. So that just tells about that in the marriage there could be concerns of practicality, hard work, expecting hard work, expecting discipline, and at the same time, like in today's day and age, all those people in whose case finding a successful partner, finding a partner who is going to complement you as per your accomplishments, as per your academics. So let's say for example, with a Capricorn ascendant in the D9 chart, native is definitely going to be attracted towards those partners or a person to be in a matrimonial life where the person is equally successful or partner is going to contribute or encourage the native in order to fulfill his professional goals or career related goals. And guys, many people also resort to this conclusion that in their assessment they see the correlation that with the passage of time or once your Saturn return has happened or with maturity, with the passage of time, you become more or you go more towards the signification or energy of your D9 chart. So I mean to say, let's say for example, if in your first half of life you lack that kind of maturity, that kind of practicality, or your career did not pick up the pace which it was expected to pick. So with the second half of life, all those things can be expected. Power, authority can be achieved with the passage of time, with due hard work and diligence in life. You can also see as the energies reverberating as a part of the theme in your first house of the D9 chart. Now moving ahead guys, if you will enter their second house, which tells about your values, which tells about your household finances. So now you have to understand this thing that the planet which is ruling your first house, the same planet is ruling your second house as well. So I mean to say, definitely in the marriage, how much money you're going to save, how you're going to handle money, how much money you're going to contribute in the household, all of those things are definitely going to take a paramount importance in someone's matrimonial life. So it is very important for someone with having a Capricorn ascendant in the D9 chart to never compromise in these things or do not take these things lightly. So let's say for example, if you are young, you are in a age where you are just looking for the right partner for yourself. So do not compromise on these values, because otherwise in later half of life this could become a major concern in the marriage, or this could become a bone of contention in the marriage. That is something which I want to tell you over here. And when we talk about their values in the marriage, so you will definitely find them bit flexible over there, bit scientific, bit new age over there. So like in today's day and age, like all those couples who do not hesitate in taking the help of an expert if they are going through any kind of concerns, they are going through any kind of issues whatsoever is the recent trend, they are the first one to jump into that. So I mean to say, those kind of trends, those kind of scientific approach, you can see as a part of their inculcated values in the marriage or in the matrimonial path. Now guys, moving to their third house. So here you're going to find the energies of the planet Jupiter in the form of the Pisces sign. So guys, third house in the D9 chart tells about your communication, it tells about your efforts. So I mean to say, just because of the presence of Jupiter's Pisces sign over here, that just tells about that in the marriage, when we talk about the prospects of communication, so that is definitely going to play a very pivotal role, because you have to understand this thing that the other sign of communication, which is the Gemini sign, that has fallen in their sixth house. So I mean to say, now whether in the form of remaining very vocal in any of the contentious or problematic situation, or whether in the form of very emotionally connecting with their partner through the exchange of words. So communication is definitely going to be a very important aspect in the marriage. That is one thing which we can see because of the energies reverberating in their third house. And I mean to say, friends, when we talk about the energies of the like Pisces, which is the original Kalpurush Kundali's 12th house energy, which is all about sacrifice, which is all about unconditional devotion and support. So I mean to say, whatsoever task they are going to assign to their partner, or the duties which has to be allocated to the partner, they are definitely going to expect 100% out of that. That is something you can see as a part of the reverberating energies in their third house. Now guys, the moment you are going to enter their fourth house, now fourth house in the D9 chart plays a very important role, because this house tells about how much contentment and happiness you are going to derive out of marriage or the matrimonial path. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Mars's Aries sign energy in the 4th house, somehow they are definitely going to have very triggering and very volatile emotions. So I mean to say, they will be among those people who might get very easily happy, very easily contented, or the small things might hurt them, might offend them. So when we talk about their domestic life, the matters there are going to be a bit sensitive. So there you need to give attention to that, how you are dealing with the sensitive matters of the matrimonial life, because certain things which are very easy going for you, this could be very sensitive matter or very touchy matter for your partner. So there you need to give attention to that. The marriage or the expectation of happiness and contentment from the marriage is on a very volatile grounds. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 5th house. Now 5th house tells about your devotion. 5th house also tells about romance in the marriage. So here you're going to find the energies of the planet Venus in the form of the Taurus sign. So guys, the good part about these people is that from surface, you might come across, or they might come across as someone who is very disciplined, someone who is very raw. So this person might not have a very romantic side to his personality. So that is the kind of impression which their personality might exude. But once you get to know them better, you will realize that they are actually very romantic. They are among those people who will remember the anniversaries, the birthdays, the first date, first time you guys meet. So all these kind of important dates, memories, surprising their partner with good gifts and all. So all these kind of energies you can find just because of the placement of Taurus, a sign ruled by the planet Venus over there. And I mean to say, at the same time, when we talk about the 5th house in the D9 chart, that also somehow influences your decision making as well. So their decision making is definitely going to be very practical, very realistic, very virtuous. So that's how you can see energies reverberating in their 5th house of D9 chart. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter their 6th house. So 6th house in the D9 chart tells about how they are going to handle any of the obstacles which might come in their matrimonial life. So because of the presence of the Gemini sign over here, that just tells about that they are definitely going to be very vocal regarding any of the problems which might be bothering them. So like they will not be among those people who are going to hide or keep it in the form of, you know, hoarded emotions and going to blast it out at the wrong times. So I mean to say, if they are finding themselves in a difficult situation, difficult state regarding any of the matter or concern of the marriage, they will be among those people who will actually prefer the mode of communicating it rather than hiding it or suffering in silence. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead friends, the moment you're going to enter this 7th house. So now the good part about all the Capricorn ascendant people in the D9 chart is that no matter how much hardworking they are, how much pressure of responsibilities they have the capacity to handle, and even if they come across as someone who is very raw, very overbearing, but when we talk about the matters of their 7th house or the kind of love, nourishment or energies they are going to receive from their partner from the opposite house, so you will definitely find them lucky in this regard, that they will definitely get that kind of maternal nourishment. Like I use the word maternal because the way unconditionally a mother nourishes her child, so that kind of or that form of nourishment they are going to get from their partner. So that is how you can see energies reverberating in their 7th house. Moving ahead friends, if you will enter their 8th house. Now 8th house in the D9 chart, which tells about your joint resources, which tells about your in-laws, the family of your spouse. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Leo sign over here, that just tells about they will have this capacity to run into a partner who might come from a very accomplished or from a very recognized family as well. And when we talk about the way they bond or they connect with their partner, you will definitely find a kind of strong virtues, strong values dignity over there. So that is how we can correlate the energies reverberating in their 8th house. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 9th house, so 9th house which tells about your faith, 9th house which is a very important house in the D9 chart. This house acts as a glue which keeps the bond of the marriage intact. So just because of the presence of the Virgo sign over here, that just tells about that they will have a very disciplined approach towards religion, towards their culture, towards their tradition. So I mean to say, like, you will not find these people bit casual when we talk about all those traditional festivals and cultures. Like for example, we talk about Karwa Chauth, we talk about all those kind of important fastings. So you will definitely find them paying very eye for detail attitude towards all these things. So that is how you can see the energies reverberating in their 9th house. And guys, the good part about these people is that, like, the way I've seen this correlation so many times, like just because the same planet which is ruling their 9th house, the same planet is ruling their 6th house as well. So let's say for example, all those like ladies or women in whose chart I have found Capricorn ascendant in the D9 chart, even if they will keep any fasting, like for example, if their husband is going through a difficult time on his career front and this person doesn't believe in astrology or doing any of the fasting and anything, but the wife believes in all of these things, and if she is going to keep the fasting or doing the remedies on behalf of her husband, so that actually works out. So that kind of energy you can see over there, that religious austerities have the capacity to even help them in any of the difficulty of the relationship. So that's how we can see energies reverberating in their life. Now guys, the moment you're going to enter their 10th house, now 10th house in the D9 chart just tells about like how the world is going to see you. Let's say for example, whether in the form of your matrimonial path, your matrimonial bond, what kind of impression does it exude in the society, or let's say for example, someone who is a spiritual seeker, how exactly and where exactly his spiritual journey is going to take him. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Libra sign over there, so for someone who is in a matrimonial bond, he's definitely going to exude this impression that their couple or this marriage is very compatible with each other. They are so much into love with each other and equally caring for each other. So that kind of balancing energy, love, harmony, so that is how your couple is going to be perceived in the society. That's how you can see the correlation or contribution of the Libra sign in their 10th house. Now guys, moving to their 11th house. 11th house of the D9 chart tells about your hopes, tells about your wishes. Now here you're going to find the energies of the planet Mars in the form of the Scorpio sign. And the good part here is that the same planet which is ruling their house of hopes is also ruling their house of contentment and happiness, the 4th house as well. So I have seen this combination in those charts where, let's say for example, a girl who only wanted to get married to a senior government official, or let's say for example, someone who just wanted to get married to a wealthy person only. So whatsoever hopes are being given to them, promises which are given to them at the time of marriage, or the dreams which they have seen growing up, so they are definitely going to play a very key role or important role in the marriage, or as a part of their contentment or their happiness. So let's say for example, if you are preparing for top government job exams and you got married during this phase, and you gave this hope to your partner that okay, I will try my level best, or I'm going to give you this life, or I'm going to achieve this designation, this position. So all the hopes, all the promises are definitely going to play a very important, a very key role. And at the same time guys, just because 11th house also tells about your group dynamics, your social interaction, so they will definitely run into very intense people who will have this capacity to help them achieve whatsoever they are going to achieve or whatsoever they are eyeing for. Like I mean to say, when we talk about the Scorpio sign, Scorpio is a very intense sign. When we talk about loyalty, you cannot find more loyalty from anyone other than this zodiac sign. And when we talk about the capacity to seek revenge, so even those qualities you will find predominant in the energies of this zodiac sign. So I mean to say, because of the presence of the Scorpio sign in their 11th house, they will definitely run into very intense people as a part of their interaction in the society, in the group dynamics. You can also look at it from that ways. And last friends, the moment you're going to enter their 12th house. Now 12th house is the house of the losses. It is also the house of like whatsoever sacrifices the bond of marriage or the path of spirituality is asking from you. So just because of the presence of the Jupiter's Sagittarius sign over here, that just tells about that they are definitely going to be very optimistic even in the face of or the situation of any crisis, and they will definitely have this capacity to very gracefully handle any of the baggage or any of the situation of losses within the marriage or within the path of their spiritual pursuits. So this is something friends which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs on this video. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.